Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Tragedy. Motorist dies after vehicle plunges into rear Cobra. Sissoko raises alarm over rising online sexual crimes. And later in sports, 2 matches scheduled for Jamaica Premier League. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kerry-Ann Simpson. Here are the details. The police have confirmed that a motorist lost his life last night in the Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine. CCTV footage captured the moment the vehicle plunged into the rear Cobra at approximately 10:41 p.m. Eyewitnesses in the area saw the incident unfolded and attempted to rescue the driver. He has been identified as 65 years old Noel Patterson. Reports indicate Mr. Patterson was trying to cross Flatbridge when his Toyota Hiace motor truck veered off the road and into the river. Head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB ACP Mackenzie, confirmed that the vehicle remains submerged. Attempts were made to retrieve it last night, but those efforts were called off. Arrangements are now being made to remove the vehicle. There is increasing concern about the absence of parental supervision when teenagers access online platforms. The Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, CISOCA, is reporting that a significant number of sexual crimes now originate online. Shamela Pullen reports.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force reports that 22% of offense cases begin with online interactions. This poses a serious risk as online predators frequently target vulnerable teenagers.
I believe that most of the users are not thinking beyond what it is that they are intending it to be used for. So, for example, persons will go on to share their lives. More and more we see people want us to see what's happening with them. People want to put themselves out there, especially if they think they have a skill or a talent. So people come and dance, they'll share ideas, they have a lot of followings. It is also income generating for a number of persons. So they go on with that intention. But as I indicated before, there are perpetrators lurking out there who are looking for an opportunity to weasel people out of their money.
Speaking on the Force for Good podcast, tackling sexual crimes by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, head of CISOCA, Superintendent Karen Bailey, pointed to a rising trend on 2 major social media platforms, TikTok and Instagram. She explains that while many users go on these platforms to earn money, sometimes it goes further as predators also use these spaces to target vulnerable individuals.
There are perpetrators lurking out there who are looking for an opportunity to weasel people out of their money sometimes. But as it relates to from a CISOCA perspective, they are targeting these persons for sexual exploits. So when a person posts a video or posts videos about their lives, there's someone looking on to look at physical features that may appeal to them. They understand how they operate and where to target. And so the more they post, the more they share, they're opening up themselves and their lives to perpetrators out there.
Superintendent Bailey calls on parents and guardians to pay closer attention to children and teens using social media platforms.
If you monitor your children, we've had reports where persons ask inappropriate questions. It's not just about the game anymore. So if it's not being monitored properly, you find that your child may be out there sharing personal information about your family that you would not expect them to do because you're thinking that they're actually in a game. But the actual monitoring and utilizing the instrument for parental control is good for all ages once they're children. That will help us preventing some of the perpetrators from getting to them.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Member of Parliament for East Portland Anne-Marie Vaz is urging residents not to harbor Haitians who enter the country illegally. Her appeal follows the spike in murders in Portland since the start of the year. She was speaking at a stakeholders meeting in the parish recently where the government promised to implement strategies to dismantle organized criminal networks and install more Jamaica Eye cameras to curb the spike in crime.
Until that is sorted, what you're engaging in activities that will lead to our detriment. So don't hide them. and don't employ them because you don't know what their backgrounds are, what is the reason why they ran to here. And so when you do that, you are playing a part in the criminality that we are seeing in this parish.
Mrs. Vaz also called on the residents to work with the police in their efforts to restore normalcy in the parish.
Working together is the only way we are going to get this spike down, and we have the commitment from our Campbell over here, the two dogs here, that things will get better for Portland. And I know it will with all of us working together.
Crime in St. James is steadily decreasing. According to recent statistics, the St. James Police Division recorded 16 murders when compared to 41 for the same period last year. That's 25 less murders or 61% reduction. Senior Superintendent Carlos Russell shared the details at the recent sitting of the St. James Municipal Corporation monthly meeting.
A steady reduction from the first quarter coming down. The first quarter last year, there were 40 murders. The second quarter, there was 33. Third, 29. The fourth quarter, 23. And the first quarter of this year, there were only 13 murders for the division.
And the division is being lauded for its continued efforts to rid the streets of illegal guns.
Start of the year, we have seized 26 firearms and 818 rounds of ammunition.
Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says after decades of being occupied, the Yallas Market will not be leased again outside of its intended purpose. He revealed that a contract valued at over $16 million is now out for tender to renovate the market.
Once that is completed, the work will commence to fix up the place. And I want to commend the vendors because they said that they would go in the market whether or not it is ready. And they have been occupying the market. And because they have been faithful and they really need the market, we have taken a decision that until the renovation of the market is completed, the vendors will occupy the space free of cost. We're not charging any money for the vendors to occupy the market until it is fully refurbished.
Minister McKenzie says the government is excited to have the market reopened. In the meantime, this warning to the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation about the Seaforth Market.
When that lease agreement expires, the market must start to reposition itself to facilitate the vendors and being run by the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation. I will not grant any further extension for the lease of the Seaforth Market.
Opposition leader Mark Golding says he has observed notable improvements in the operations of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC. According to Mr. Golding, since the People's National Party assumed leadership of the corporation, there have been visible signs of progress and better management. He made the remarks while speaking at a church service in St. Andrew on Sunday.
While issues like water quality and funding continue to affect the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, opposition leader Mark Golding says there is still cooperation happening behind the scenes. Speaking during a Palm Sunday service at Gordontown Baptist Church, Mr. Golding acknowledged the challenges within the council, but said many problems have been resolved through teamwork.
From time to time, there will be issues on which there may be a difference of opinion. Sometimes the issues are controversial, and therefore, persons in politics will take strong positions on those types of issues. But we must always remember that the greater goal on which we are committed and embarking on and pursuing, which is a better Jamaica, a better corporate area a better life for all our citizens. And there's no better day, I suppose, to celebrate that than Palm Sunday with humility.
Also attending the service was Mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew, Andrew Swaby, who publicly endorsed Mr. Golden's comments and emphasized the importance of working together, especially during Holy Week.
We have worked to foster a culture of collaboration across political lines. Bipartisanship is not a slogan for us. It's the way forward. We believe that when we put the people's first, when we center their needs and aspirations above all else, with this, true leadership shines through Kingston and St. Andrew.
Mayor Swaby made it clear that no community is being left behind, regardless of political views.
A commitment to serve each resident and stakeholders with greater energy, greater openness. We will do this with unwavering dedication, where progress is measured by the quality of life of our people. As we look ahead, I invite King St. Andrew to continue to partner with us. We are at our strongest when citizens, leaders, and stakeholders work hand in hand.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More local stories when we return. Welcome back. We're continuing the news. A broad trough currently extending across the central and western Caribbean is expected to maintain unstable weather conditions across Jamaica and surrounding territories through to Wednesday. That's according to the Met Service of Jamaica. It says this weather system is forecast to produce periods of mainly afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms. This will particularly affect eastern and central parishes. Residents in these areas are being advised to remain alert for possible localized flooding and thunderstorms, especially during peak rainfall periods. Now, forecasters say a ridge of high pressure is expected to build across the island by Thursday, bringing drier and more stable weather conditions as the week progresses. It's now time for the Business Minute.
Director of Corporate Communications at JPS, Richard Gordon, says the company currently has 37 fast electric vehicle chargers across Jamaica. He adds that JPS plans to roll out another 7 this year, bringing the total to 44. Mr. Gordon also pointed out that its 1 megawatt fast charger can give a vehicle enough electric power in 15 minutes to travel 2,000 kilometers at a cost of only $1,500. Further afield, electronics, including smartphones and computer monitors, will be exempt from President Donald Trump's reciprocal tariffs. That's according to a notice from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection that was posted late Friday. The exemption applies to products entering the U.S. or were removed from warehouses by April 5th. The move comes after the Trump administration imposed a tariff rate of 145% on Chinese goods imported to the U.S. The tariffs would have a major impact on tech giants like Apple, since the majority of its phones are produced in China. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Time now for the top stories from around the world.
In the region, the heads of government of CARICOM have expressed concern about recent reports that a coalition of criminal gangs is threatening to seize power and compel a change in the governance arrangements in Haiti. CARICOM says it strongly condemns any attempt to replace the transitional arrangements by force and violence. CARICOM says it has been in consultation with Haiti and its international partners to urgently provide further security assistance to that country. On the international scene, Ecuador's right-wing president Daniel Noboa has been re-elected in a second-round election runoff. The National Electoral Council declared late Sunday that the incumbent was promised to boost the flagging economy and continue a crackdown on violence had won by a wide margin. With more than 90% of ballots counted, the 37-year-old Noboa was reported to have taken 55.8% of the vote. That gave him a 12-point lead lead over left-wing opponent Luisa Gonzalez. However, his rival, whose support polls had suggested was running close to the incumbents, has demanded a recount, claiming the vote was fraudulent. And those were the top regional and international stories. I am Kelisha Williams.
And we head to another break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.